In the latest episode, Hae-in is literally about to die, and Jinwoo is completely out of options. But then, Jinwoo tells the cameraman to turn off the camera for a few minutes. But cameraman confused replied, "Pardon me." Jinwoo glares at him and says, "If you don't turn it off, I'll destroy it." Without another word, he grabs the camera himself. Then, he orders his shadows to find Min Byung-goo's body. Baek Yoon-ho is shocked. Jinwoo was actually trying to extract a shadow from a dead hunter. But things don't go as expected. Jinwoo attempts shadow extraction, but it fails. He's surprised because his skill level is already high, and this should be easy. That's when he realizes the reason Min Byung-goo's will is so strong that he refuses to be summoned. It's as if Min Byung-goo himself is telling Jinwoo, "What you're doing is evil." But Jinwoo knows that someone needs to be saved. He clenches his fists and tries again. Arise! This time, a massive shadow rises from Min Byung-goo's body. Baek Yoon-ho, unable to believe what he's seeing, grabs Jinwoo's shoulder and demands, "What are you doing to Min Byung-goo's body?" But as he watches, he finally understands, Jinwoo isn't an ordinary summoner. He has complete power over the dead. Then, something strange happens. Min Byung-goo's face looks unhappy, like he's being forced to take an exam he doesn't want. Unlike Kim Chul, who became a shadow and turned into an idiot, as soon as he appears, Min Byung-goo's shadow immediately heals Hae-in, even though Jinwoo didn't command him to. Seeing this, Jinwoo comments, "I can tell what kind of person Min Byung-goo was. He heals others even without being told. He must have been a kind man in life." Baek Yoon-ho closes his eyes, thinking deeply, and then says, "The shadow you see now is no longer Min Byung-goo." Then, Baek Yoon-ho looks at him seriously and says, "I know how strong you are, and I know how powerful Min Byung-goo's healing ability would be for you. But in life, he hated violence. Please, don't use him for battle." Jinwoo removes Baek Yoon-ho's hand from his shoulder and says, "This is the second time you've told me what to do. But this time, it's not an order, it's a heartfelt request." He then walks up to Min Byung-goo's shadow and says, "Terminate extraction." The moment before he disappears, Min Byung-goo looks at Baek Yoon-ho and smiles. Baek Yoon-ho is shocked, his friend still recognizes him. They share one final moment before Min Byung-goo's shadow returns to his body. Baek Yoon-ho, deeply moved, sincerely thanks Jinwoo. The hunters leave the cave, and a helicopter arrives to take them back. But Jinwoo tells them he's staying behind to clean up the island. He calls for Kaisel and tells Baek Yoon-ho, "I'll see you later." Then, he flies off to face the remaining flying ants, making sure the helicopter can leave safely. Meanwhile, on a Japanese ship, the hunters there are in shock. Hoshino can't believe what happened to the monster that killed Ryuji Goto. Sugimoto says the Korean Hunter Association has already reported what happened, and he remembers Ryuji's words, "There is a Korean hunter stronger than me." As Jinwoo returned to the ant hideout after burning countless unhatched eggs, he searched his inventory for an item to try out. And there it was, the lightning sword of Baron, a longsword capable of converting lightning energy to enhance its attacks. Jinwoo tested the weapon while clearing out the remaining monsters. At the same time, in the United States, Hunter Management Bureau Director David Brannon watches a video of the Jeju Island raid at 4 a.m. Michael Connor, his agent, shows him footage of Jinwoo. A hunter who can control over 100 creatures is extremely rare, and they know they can't afford to let someone like him go. Connor suggests recruiting Jinwoo, saying, "South Korea is too small for a hunter of his level." The director agrees and asks for Jinwoo's background. That's when they discover something shocking. Jinwoo is the son of Sun Il-won, a man who was once considered a human monster. The United States sees this as a golden opportunity to recruit Jinwoo and strengthen their alliance with Korea. The director turns to Connor and asks, "Can you bring him in?" Connor confidently replies, "I'll do whatever it takes, sir." Back on Jeju Island, Jinwoo reaches level 100. Afterward, he returned to the Ant King's corpse and attempted shadow extraction and says arise, and suddenly, he is swallowed by darkness. For a moment, he thinks the shadow extraction has failed, but when he turns around, the Ant King's shadow is behind him. The system confirms, shadow extraction successful. And here's the crazy part, the Ant King's shadow doesn't start as an ordinary soldier. It goes straight to general rank, the highest among Jinwoo's shadows so far. Then, something shocking happens, the Ant King speaks. Jinwoo is stunned because none of his previous shadows, like Iron or Min Byung-goo, could talk after being extracted, but this one can. Jinwoo asks, "I killed you. Will you obey my every command?" The Ant King replies, "I am not dead. I have been reborn through my master's power. My greatest joy is to serve you." Jinwoo thinks for a moment and decides on a name. Remembering Bernard Werber, the author of Empire of the Ants, he names him Baru. Baru bows deeply and thanks his new master. Jinwoo then attempts to extract the Ant Queen. but he realizes something: her power is only for reproduction, not combat. So, he cancels the extraction. Meanwhile, his shadow soldiers start gathering essence stones. Jinwoo scolds them, saying, "We need those stones to rebuild Jeju Island. I already have enough rewards." Then, he asks Baru, "How many ants are left?" Baru replies, "Before the raid, there were 8,700 ants. Now, only 4,000 remain." Jinwoo sighs. Still a lot to kill. Then, he asks Baru, "Can you finish them off?" Baru grins. "If you command me to."